The Local Show, sponsored by Victory in Motion, home of knee repair, not knee replacement, on News Radio 570 WSYR, on 106.9 FM, and live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. The Local Show features in-depth conversation with business owners, employees, and influential business leaders throughout Central New York, exploring their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business right here in our growing community. The Local Show is produced locally by Zoe Advertising. Now your hosts, Tom and Steve.
We're back into it, and we are back at it. This is The Local Show with Tom and Steve. Hard to believe that the Christmas shows are in full swing on the on my channel, on the Hallmark channel.
George Powers filled in last week, and it was funny. You were like, Steve says I have too much estrogen because I watch the Hallmark channel. There's a lot of other reasons, but that would just be one. Right, but you really enjoy that stuff, which is
it could because it's mind numbing. But the point is that there's all these Christmas shows on, and I'm like, well, geez, Christmas is far off, and I thought, it's really not.
No.
We're planning Thanksgiving and all this. It just kind of like went bing, bing, bing.
Nope, and you hired a snowplow guy. It's all coming, Tom.
Yeah, it's all good stuff. Attorney John Murphy, we don't have to wait for him. He's here now. Owner of Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts. How are you there, Johnny?
I'm doing great. And, George Will was rooting for this mayoral outcome.
Was he really?
Because
he said, because every 20 years or so, you need a socialist experiment to blow up in everybody's face.
Yeah.
That's it doesn't work.
I have heard that. Let's hope it goes that way and not any other way.
Well, I mean, if think about it, you're in New York City,
yeah,
and you're on the top of the food chain. Why would you stay? I mean, even if you went across the river to New Jersey, you're going to get out of that. Why would you stay? Because you can't do it anywhere else? Yes, you can. But
Florida and Texas say hello.
Yes, right. No, it's
absolutely.
It's true. It's true.
John, you're always explaining to people what you guys do. There's no shortage of knowledge of what Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts can do for you. And one of the ways you do it is through these workshops. And you just had one. So
yeah, we just did 2 in Watertown. When we do them, we try to do 2 for the day, morning and afternoon.
To give people a couple
different
options.
schedules. Yeah. We had about 60 people attended, I think.
Nice.
Over the 2. And booked a great number of appointments.
Have the questions changed over time? Are people like, is it always, hey, should I put this in my kid's name? Or, hey, is it the same questions, or has things evolved, or is it pretty much?
No, it's the same thing. And, one of the big things, as you know, is we never like to give the house to the kids. Because too much can go wrong.
Doesn't that blow up people's brain, though, when you say that?
It does. And like, oh, darn, we did that. And I said, well, we can fix it. Because they don't understand that they've actually given up partial ownership of the home. Mm-hmm. I don't think it's ever explained to them fully. As attorneys, we think we explain it, but we use lawyer words. And, real people don't often get it. So when I say you've actually given up control of your home, not in the fact of who lives there, but if you want to sell it, you need your kids' consent.
Right.
If you want to refinance it, you need your kids' consent. If you do sell it, your kids are going to get part of the proceeds of the home.
Wow.
And if you make a profit on it, the kids are going to have to pay capital gains tax because it's not their primary residence.
Who tells people that? Because nobody would know that. They just think it's...
Well, I do. So I try to educate people, right?
Because, good point.
Yeah. It's not a never. If you have a son or daughter who's never left the home, they're never going to leave the home, they're the only child. Okay, so maybe you do a transfer there. Right? Or we had a call. A lady said, hey, I gave my house to my daughter 10 years ago. I have life use. Daughter was married, no children. Her daughter died.
Oh,
gosh.
And she called her son-in-law, eventually said, I'd like to sell the home. And he said, no. I'll sell it when you're dead.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
And so she lost control.
Yep, she lost control.
Oh, my gosh.
So, because, we don't know the real people our kids marry. Sometimes.
Right. No. Is that the biggest mistake people make?
Yes, that and not understanding the difference between how the IRS interprets things and how Medicaid interprets things. Most people understand there's an amount of money that you can give away and you don't have to tell the IRS. Okay. Currently, that's $19,000 to as many different people as you want to.
So 19, if they had 1.9, they could give it 19,000 to 10 people.
Whatever that math comes out to.
Yeah, okay, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And not tell Uncle Sam.
Okay, right.
Okay. So they think that applies to Medicaid. It does not. So if you apply for Medicaid for long-term care, they're going to look back at what you've done with your money the last 5 years, and did you give away any money and not get fair value? So a gift, you don't get fair value. I've got 4 kids. If I give each of my kids $19,000, that's $76,000. If I need long-term care in the next 5 years, I would be ineligible for Medicaid for about 6 months because I gave that money away.
So that amount divided by 6 months of what you would pay.
Well, it's
ish.
No, there's another number you divide into it. That you take this thing called a Medicaid divisor. That's based on how much money Medicaid pays nursing homes in your area. You divide that into the gift, and you come up with what Medicaid calls a penalty period, which means I'm eligible for Medicaid, but for the fact I gave away that money, and now I have to private pay.
Okay.
Hey, kids, I need the money. I'm driving the money. All the money's on my roof of my house.
All this government stuff, budget stuff, healthcare, Medicaid, Medicare changes. Does that affect your people?
If you've pre-planned, no, because we're all set. Not tons of big changes came down in the long-term care nursing home world with this budget. I was really afraid that they would extend the look-back period, and I might look to that again coming up in maybe the next budget reconciliation or whatever it is, because that's a way to help people private pay longer. The other thing for New York is there was 2 changes to home care Medicaid in 2020. And they were that they changed the physical requirement to be eligible for home care Medicaid. They made it 50% more difficult. You now need, instead of having to have difficulty with 2 or more activities of daily living, they call it, it's now you need to have difficulty with 3 of those. The other thing is they had a 30-month look-back period for home care. And they haven't instituted that yet.
I was going to ask you, so community Medicaid, I was trying to explain this to someone. Yeah. I said, you don't have to go to a nursing home if someone takes care of it. There's help for that. Is that intact as it was?
It's intact as it was, yep. But there's a 30-month look-back period for that. And so it's a wonderful program. We've had people stay home 5-6 years on community Medicaid. We had one lady just recently, she did a trust like 7-8 years ago. Got on community Medicaid, which currently doesn't have any look-back period.
Okay.
But anyways, she got help to stay at home. My Medicaid supervisor, Tammy, got an email from the son. Just wanted to thank you, let you know Mom passed. She was able to die in her bed in her home, which was a goal. And she was able to preserve everything. And we were able to get that to the family without going to court because it was in a trust.
There you go. So, you have a workshop coming up November 17th here in Syracuse, and all these questions, all these thoughts, all that kind of stuff. Do you have 2 workshops, one in the morning, one in the afternoon?
One in the morning, one at 10 o'clock, and the other one at 4 o'clock. They're about 2 hours.
Okay. So if you haven't gone to one, they actually are more interesting than John on the radio. They're actually pretty interesting.
That's a low bar. Also a low blow. But.
They're meant to be both. So 370-9977. You can register for that and pick your time and just go and ask questions. 370-9977. You can go to the safeharborwillsandtrust.com website and do the same. And thanks for joining us today, John.
Appreciate you having me. If I don't see you again, happy Thanksgiving.
There we go.